It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see Fred Warner. He's a nightmare to deal with in the front seven. It's the 49ers and the Vikings, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So here are the Vikings to go on offense for the first time, and it's a rookie at the helm, the 10th overall pick back in April out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
McCarthy off the play fake. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the 49ers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now the 49ers getting ready to go on offense, and it's the Pro Bowler Brock Purdy at the helm in his 3rd NFL season now out of Iowa State.
And the great story of Brock Purdy continues. Had he been drafted in the first round, I think people would be singing his praises to the skies, but for whatever reason, people can't let go relevant, and they don't give him the credit he deserves. He is not just a system quarterback. He's a guy who enhances his team. Not just along for the ride, he's the one steering the ship. And without him, their ceiling significantly drops.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Purdy from the gun. They'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Niners at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Out of the gun, Purdy gets this one to Juszczyk. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Purdy now to throw. That's caught out right by Jennings. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. Purdy sets up to throw again. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Purdy. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown.
Boy, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To the air with McCarthy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now with Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw, Purdy. That is caught. How did he stay on his feet? And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Play action. Now Purdy. On the move to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Throwing here, Purdy. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jennings. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his third rushing touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Moody good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Here's McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is McCarthy. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. He's got his big tight end, Farrell, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now Purdy. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kyle Juszczyk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Niners take a 3-touchdown lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Here now a 3rd down and 8. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A first down and then some. 36 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, now McCarthy. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Up the middle, Jones. And not much running room. down to the 32. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now McCarthy. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Purdy completes it to Jennings. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down. Purdy looking to throw. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Purdy now to throw. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 30. Looking to throw. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And some space here. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Purdy. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Niners are able to widen their lead here in this first half. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Moody good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To the air with McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw again. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And his kick here is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was the visiting Saints who were able to walk away with the road victory. The Saints playing well early as they get to 2-0 with a road win there. We saw the former All-Pro Christian McCaffrey up to his old tricks in that first half. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Niners offense had Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. from the 34-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 2. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Slot man moves right. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Hard throw, incomplete.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. An inside give to Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. They'll go again to Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. The 49ers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Back to throw, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
A handoff left, McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Connects with Kittle underneath. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Throwing here, Purdy. Gets this one to use check. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now Purdy. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Purdy. That is incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Willis. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing is McCarthy. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on for the 5th time here today. "47-yard punt, a return of 4. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They were winners over the Jets a week ago, and they are in the driver's seat right now as well. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Connects with Kittle underneath. Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 59 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. That's complete to his tight end, Farrell. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And a substantial run there by McCaffrey, and the reigning Offensive Player of the Year is coming off a season where he totaled over 2,000 yards from scrimmage for the 2nd time in his career. He truly can do it all.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Hauled in left side here by Jennings. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Purdy going to give it to Garindo. Down to about the 32.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 26. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Purdy looking to throw. He'll find Farrell open left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, You never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now McCarthy. That's down the field for Jefferson. And this is caught inside the 5. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Jones again. And he will again go backwards as they drive him back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Forced out, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And this 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 3rd down and 1. Here's Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number 1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
106 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far. A
handoff running right, Garendo. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Again, it's Garendo, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Purdy now to throw. Dancing to his left. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. This is caught by Addison. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To the air with McCarthy. Shakes off the sack. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
And here's Ryan Wright now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Niners offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for San Francisco, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.